drives really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and I'm joined with Matt Jenkins
G'day, everyone.
from the Hearns racing team, and today we're going to have a look at this special beast. What have we got here?
Awesomatix A12 12th
know.
scale.
And most people don't associate Hearns Hobbies or Hearns Racing with 12th scale or Awesomatix for that fact.
No.
But yeah, Matt said he wanted one, and I said there's pretty much only one that you can have, Matt. So we hooked him up, and he's painted up a bitty design shell.
Yep, it's the robots.
Which has seen a few runs, it looks like.
A couple, yes.
So pop the hood and show us in and talk about it.
Let's take a look.
Let's see what makes the 12th scale tick. And this one in particular, because it's quite revolutionary.
Yep.
And quite different from any other 12th scale in the market.
That's right. Well, I've had other 12th scales before this one.
Yes.
And not entirely happy with them. I can't spend a lot of time on them. But this just seems to go together really, really well. It makes sense to me. Right?
And 12th scales are really a craftsman's like race machine,
Absolutely,
aren't they?
yes.
They're quite simplistic on the outside. They're just a pan car with minimal suspension. But to get them working and to get them working well is an art.
Yeah, you've actually everything's got to be squared up. Everything's got to be to the 10th.
Yep.
You know, making sure the cars aren't tweaked. Making sure your tyres are true to the same diameters. A really good diff helps them drive around better.
Yep. And consistent, because they're 8-minute races.
That's right.
Now you race modified.
Yep.
And 12th scale modified is considered like the F1. It's like the ultimate of radio control on-road racing.
Yep.
And if you haven't seen this thing go, they're like a slot car in a track.
Right.
They are phenomenal in their scale and their speed.
It's basically a wedge driving around. Yeah. It's so. I guess the aerodynamics of these things help them stick to the ground.
Yeah.
And actually, the faster they go, the more likely it is they stick to the ground.
That's right. So you've got to push them, and to push them, obviously, you need a lot of things. Obviously, driving skill, setup, and craftsman in building it.
That's right.
So have a look about this. Talk to us about this car. What's it got that other 12th scales don't have?
Okay, so the design of this car actually is probably easier to see from the back.
Yep.
So traditional pan cars, they have a pod at the back that pivots on a ball right at the rear.
And this is all alloy construction.
That's right. So everything's alloy here.
Yes.
So this is a machined deck that actually takes your radio and battery.
Yes.
But the pivot being traditional at the back would mean that only the motor and spur and axle pivot.
That's right.
Whereas the rest would stay static.
Yes.
But with this particular design, the pivot is actually here and here.
Yes.
So
it's effectively the whole car's effectively a T-bar.
That's right. Now there is a damper tube that runs across the car.
Yes.
That actually, and there's a set of springs on the side that helps with preload, so you can get your tweak right. All right. But the damper tube is actually the part that acts independently. So there's a tube with two blades inside it.
Yep.
And it relies on the surface tension of the oil that you've put inside it to actually create the dampening effect left to right. But you can see the whole car pivots and the whole tray moves.
Yes.
The other thing about this particular car is the front suspension on a traditional 12th scale is not an oil-filled damper.
It's just a sprung kingpin. That you could sometimes put various thickness of grease over the kingpin.
That's right, and you can put washers in them to actually change your ride heights and so on. But this has actually got a front damper tube set up.
Yeah, through the steering spindle.
Yeah, and it's really, really supple. It's it brings a nice feeling back to the front end of these cars, and it drives really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other things about these 12th scales, it's single cell.
Single cell, so 3.7 volts.
That's right. So special speed control, special battery, and most of the guys run a 3.5 turn.
That's the maximum, I suppose.
Yep.
They really...
I've gone for a 4.5 turn. I'm not as experienced as the guys at the top. I've gone for a 4.5 turn.
Make it a little bit more gentler, I suppose.
Yeah. And hopefully achieve something out of gearing rather than just raw power.
And you've got, being a modified class, you've got all your turbo and boost.
That's right.
And shooting aspects there.
Yep. So I'm really looking forward to running this at the Nationals.
Yes.
Obviously a bit of tuning to do before then.
Bit of test and tune.
Yep. So I'm running a ball diff in the back of this at the moment.
Yep.
The standard kit comes with a
solid axle.
That's right.
And then the optional extra is an oil-filled gear diff.
That's right.
Which I believe is the most consistent way to go.
Correct.
And you've adapted just a ball diff from your previous car.
That's right. At the moment, I just haven't had time to build the gear diff at this stage.
Yep.
But yeah, looking forward to trying that as well. So
and it'd be good to give you a bit of back to back as well.
That's right. Yeah, and look, given that you're running two classes at a nationals event, you'll be really busy. It would be great to learn, because with a ball diff you have to rebuild them every run to get a really good consistent diff, right? And then if you've got a gear diff, I would suggest you'd probably get away with not rebuilding.
No, not for the event.
Sealed gear diff.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Unless you're actually tuning or playing with the thickness of the oil.
That's correct.
Then you'd expect to go the whole event. And I think that's why they were sort of implemented, is to bring that consistency. And traditionally we went away from gear diffs back many years ago because they weren't oil filled.
Yep.
They were bevel drive.
Yep. And that was just grease, was it?
And they were just grease.
Yep.
Then they went to a ball diff because they were super lightweight, super efficient.
And easy to tune too.
And easy to tune. But now we're putting way more power through them than we ever did in the past.
Yep.
So they've gone with the gear diff. Yep. Because you only really have to go offline or into a dirty part of the track if you're running on asphalt, and it fills your diff full of grit and grease, and it will change your car for the rest of the run.
Yep.
So, no, that is really cool. And like you said, it is very unique. In the way that it pivots, and I'm sure that you'll do really well with it. Really looking forward to seeing you out on track with it.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Fantastic. All right, well, thanks for watching us do a little bit of a recap and overview on the Awesomatix A12. And looking forward to seeing it out on track and seeing Matt behind the wheel, so to speak.
Excellent.
Thanks for joining me, Matt.
No worries.
Anytime. Brett from Hearns, and thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.